And welcome back to a brand new video. I just recently finished watching Marvel's Zombies. It took me a while, but obviously there were 4 episodes of this brand new series, and I actually had the time to obviously get around to it. So Marvel Zombies is an American adult animated television miniseries created by Brian Andrews and Zeb Wells for the streaming service Disney Plus, based on the Marvel comic series of the same name. It is the 16th television series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe from Marvel Studios and is produced by Marvel Studios Animation. The series is a spin-off of the animated series What If, obviously, which ran from 2021 to 2024, set in the alternate timeline introduced in the first season episode What If Zombies from 2021. Continuing from that episode, Marvel Zombies follows a group of survivors as they risk their lives fighting superpowered zombies to save the world. Andrews served as showrunner and director, with Wells as head writer. The series features an ensemble cast including Iman Vellani, Dominic Thorne, Haley Steinfeld, Kerry Kana Ramsey, Todd Williams, Kerry Walgreen, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Simu Liu, Aquafina, Randall Park, Fyodor Chin, Wyatt Russell, Rama Valari, Elizabeth Olsen, Hudson Thames, Paul Rudd, Craig Furman, Adam Hegel, Daniel Swain, Sheila Atim, Tessa Thompson, F. Murray Abraham, and Zenobia Shroff, So there we go. Marvel Studios was developing several animated series in addition to What If by 2021, including a spin-off based on What If Zombies, which was announced in November. Wells and Andrews were both involved by then. The series features the same animation style as What If, with Stellar Creative Lab returning from that series to provide the animation. It is Marvel Studios Animation's first series to be rated TVMA. Marvel Zombies was released on Disney Plus on the 24th of September 2025 and consists of 4 episodes and is part of a Phase 6 of the MCU. It received mixed reviews from critics. This is funny because I'm currently recording it literally 1 month after its release date, so that's really cool, right? So Marvel Zombies is set in an alternate timeline introduced in the What If episode, What If Zombies from 2021, where a virus has turned most of the world's population, including Avengers, into zombies. The series follows a group of survivors as they discover the key to bringing an end to the zombie plague, which leads them to risk their lives, traveling across a dystopian landscape and fighting superpowered zombies and heroes to save the world. Obviously, very, very interesting. The main characters obviously are Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, a teenage mutant from Jersey City who wears a magical bangle that unlocks her ability to harness cosmic energy and create heart-light constructs. Vellani said Kamala was central to this series, with creators describing her role as the Frodo of the story, in reference to the character Frodo Baggins from J.R.R. Tolkien's novel The Lord of the Rings. Obviously, we also have Dominic Thorne as Riri Williams / Ironheart, a former MIT student and genius inventor from Chicago who created a suit of armor that rivals the one built by Tony Stark / Iron Man. We also have Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, a young woman who trained to become a master archer after being saved by Clint Barton as a child, which is really, really interesting. These 3 are the main essential characters, and I suppose Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan is literally the main character. And that's really nice. Like, I really love Iman Vellani as an actress, but also as a person, because she loves comic books. Like, she loves her work, and I don't know, like, she obviously wrote like a story for Miss Marvel too, or still is writing a story for Miss Marvel, like a comic story, which is really interesting. So there we go. In my opinion, she's one of the greatest actresses, I guess, that knows her backstory and knows, how her character is, because I think Kamala Khan / Miss Marvel is a great representation, and I love when the actress or the actor or whatever, or the in general just the actress or the actor really loves their work, or their, I guess, the background information about certain characters that they play, right? And just enthusiastically love the thing, obviously, that Miss Marvel obviously now does. And Iman Vellani writes a couple of, I think, comic book stories, and I think is also, well, obviously it is her fourth appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we have Marvel Zombies, we had obviously Miss Marvel, the series, right? Still need to rewatch that at some point. We obviously had the Marvels movie, and I think that's pretty much it, right? Yeah. I just hope she'll return, obviously, to the movies in Avengers or whatever, or maybe a Young Avengers film. But obviously, very, very interesting stuff. There are 4 episodes, like I said, obviously, all released on the same date, which is really interesting. By June 2021, Marvel Studios Animation was developing a slate of at least 3 more series in addition to the Disney Plus series What If. The next month, the series were set to be in various stages of development and were not expected to debut until at least 2023. The Marvel Zombies animated series was announced during a Disney Plus Day event in November 2021. So obviously the reveal has been a long time ago, right? Since obviously the air date. But yeah, I guess the first appearance obviously of these characters were at this panel of Disney Plus Day, which is really, really interesting. Obviously that's the day where Disney Plus just announces a couple of new things, projects, and pretty much for the investors and stuff like that to see what they're doing. So there we go. Alright, let's see here. So Brian Andrews returns as director from What If and also served as showrunner with Zeb Wells, a writer from the Marvel Cinematic Universe series like She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Damn, that is a really... It's been a long time since I last heard anything about She-Hulk, but anyway. And also the Marvels on 2023 and Deadpool and Wolverine, set as creator, head writer and executive producer. He was ultimately credited as co-creator alongside Andrews. The series picks up or returns, I guess, the zombie-infested alternate timeline that was introduced in What If, picking up 5 years after its ending, which we saw a zombified Thanos appear with a nearly complete Infinity Gauntlet. So there we go. Obviously, the change from a film to miniseries was made in part because the creatives wanted to include Peter Parker / Spider-Man, as Marvel Studios is not only able to use the character in short-form animation, but I guess just series, right? Not in movies, because obviously if you want to use Spider-Man, it's kind of like a deal with Sony that they have where they can actually feature Spider-Man in the series, but you know, it's kind of interesting, confusing contract work there. But obviously the series introduced the original character Blade Knight, a combination of Eric Brook's Blade and Moon Knight. Originally, the creatives planned for the character to simply be a version of Blade, as Marvel Zombies was being developed alongside the planned Blade film by Marvel Studios. However, once the film entered various development delays, the Marvel Zombies team decided to create a new version of the character, was the Fist of Khonshu, freeing them creatively to not be tied up to plans for the film. But obviously, Marvel Zombies began as a gritty comic series and has since evolved into a tamer, stylized animated show in the MCU, while both share the same core premise, I guess, superheroes turned into flesh-eating monsters. The tone, characters and storytelling diverge significantly. Obviously, Marvel Zombies originated in 2005, created by Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead fame and artist Sean Phillips. It spun out of an alternate universe first introduced in the Ultimate Fantastic Four. A mysterious virus infects Earth 2149, turning superheroes into intelligent zombies who retain their powers and personalities, but are driven by insatiable hunger for flesh. The comics are obviously a dark, gory and satirical series, often showing beloved heroes committing horrific acts. The Marvel Zombies concept debuted in the What If season, I guess, in the animated episode What If Zombies, right, like I said. The 4-part animated miniseries titled Marvel Zombies was released in 2025, expanding on that lore. So there we go. It features MCU stars like Paul Rudd, Florence Pugh, Haley Steinfeld, and Simu Liu. The cast, or I guess the characters, were a bit of a random choice. Like you had Shang-Chi, you had Kate Bishop, you had obviously Yelena Belova, and obviously Ant-Man as a head. Yeah, that's interesting. But I would say it was a different group than I expected. So there we go. Alright, so similarities. The superheroes affected by the zombie virus are obviously similar, to the comics and the series. Both take place in divergent timelines from the main Marvel continuity. Some scenes and character arcs are adapted or referenced from the comics, albeit in a sanitized form, obviously. This Marvel's Zombies show could lead to spin-offs or crossovers with other What If timelines or seasons. Expect more tie-ins from Funko Pops to video game appearances. Could be really cool, right? While currently animated, fan interest could push Marvel to explore a live-action adaptation, especially with the multiverse now central to the MCU. That could also be an interesting thing. Obviously, I don't expect we'll be getting like this film, but obviously anything is possible, right? After the big, I guess, reboot of the MCU, where they really need to work on some other things, right? I think that could be a possible, possibility, right? Because obviously Deadpool & Wolverine was the first R-rated MCU film, and that did great, and it was really nice. So in my opinion, yeah, I think that could be somewhat, some way, kind of interesting to see. So yeah, there we go. Obviously we had the character of Blade Knight, which was also this really dope character. I really liked him. Obviously I don't think Marsha Ali voiced him, but still, like, dude, the combination between Blade and Moon Knight, they're like the most badass characters ever. They're very nonchalant, right? And they're very badass, and they're the GOAT, you know. Moon Knight itself, played by Oscar Isaac, was really a great character. And obviously the brand new film from Blade, which obviously is still in development after all that time. So yeah, it just was interesting to see a combination between these two characters. I have no idea why they chose it, but you know what, it's interesting to say the least. And it was interesting to see like Blade being this, I guess, this, I would to say, stoic character. And obviously, yeah, he had like the vision of Khonshu, and Khonshu was also in this series. And yeah, it was really nice. Obviously, Khonshu had an interaction between Valkyrie and him. It was really interesting because they're both like from mythology, right? Valkyrie is from the Nordic mythology, and Khonshu is from the Egyptian mythology. It was interesting to see the similarities and the conversation that they had. So there we go. I also really liked, obviously, zombie Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is this very strong, powerful mutant, and to see her as like a zombie was also very menacing, I would say, and scary too. So there we go. There were a couple of like jump scares in the series, but all by all, it was not really that much. I also really liked the fight that they had between Captain Marvel and Icarus. I think they had like I suppose like lore behind that, like Captain Marvel and Icarus. Icarus was not a zombie, but he was like, he's still like this half human, half robot looking guy. And Captain Marvel, she was a zombie, and they were fighting like this big open field, right? And they called it like the Battle of the Gods or something like that. I really liked that bit. Like, that was very interesting. Like, obviously Captain Marvel and Icarus, they fought, constantly into infinite or into infinity, right? They were never stopping, just always battling each other. And obviously some of these heroes from the series got right into the middle of it. It was really interesting to see. The other characters, I really liked Zombie Hawkeye, like, not really that special, but still was a really nice inclusion. And Zombie Ghost was also really menacing. She had some great scenes with the base where Red Guardian and Elena Belova were. So there we go. And I really liked the look of the Abomination with the purple and the green. It was a really nice detail there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone.
Whoa, that's how you do that then.
Wow.